For new information to come out after the fact is not a good look. And it's like, how do I trust someone when you omitted stuff from the beginning? That there were covers pulled over, that you did that. That is like kind of lying.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. I told you guys about Johnny and Cely in Love Island episode 25. It's got mad. For those of you who are returnees, you already know the model. You got the minerals, you got the minerals. And for those of you who are new to the channel, do me a favor, do yourself a favor. Like it, share it, subscribe, and then click on the bell button for notification of the uploads, baby. I appreciate you. Let's get into the video. So, episode 25 is a bit of a mad one, yeah? Obviously, the past few weeks, I haven't really watched it. I've just watched episode 25, but I kind of got an idea of what happened. So, obviously, Casa Moore's happened, okay? As we can see in episode one, previous reviews that I did, Casa Moore's happened, Johnny's come back, Johnny's admitted to Cely that he's done a madness, and after a few days, I guess, or a few whatever, there's been some beef that's happened, I guess, in viewpoints, and there's pain, there's hurt from Cely's side towards Johnny, okay? Now, very interesting enough, when we have arguments with people, and if you haven't watched my video on this, go and watch it at Why We Argue. In this particular instance of why we're arguing here, the problem is that there's been a drip feeding of information, I believe, from what I'm hearing from Cely's point of view, that's come to her side. And yes, he admitted originally that he went and did what he did in the villa in Casa Moore. But the trouble is, then, obviously, when she hears another piece of information, like it's not finally done, right? She hears another piece of information about being under the covers or over the covers or whatever it was, okay? It's going to cause more stress for her. Because now she has to think, can I trust you? Are you telling me the truth now? Is there more? Will more come out? How can I tell you this? I've been through it. I've been through it myself, experienced it from a person who just keeps telling us half parts of the truth and doesn't tell the full truth in its entirety. Do you get me? I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? So I know what I'm talking about.
For new information to come out after the fact is not a good look.
That creates a greater level of insecurity, alright? And madness in Cely's head. Because now she has to think, not only did you lie not only did you cheat, but you also lie, now you're lying because you're omitting certain parts of information. Right, which is what she said. She felt like you were omitting parts of information. You have downplayed it so that it suits a certain narrative. So here's the 3 point, because you know he wasn't understanding her point and what she was saying. So let me break down 3 key things that she was saying. Yeah. Point number 1, what she said was there's manipulation from him because there was an omittance of information.
To trust you about whatever happened under the covers. It feels like there's a level of manipulation now, looking back at everything and looking at the way that you've worded it, looking at the...
There was manipulation, yeah? Point number 2 was there was a minimalization of the action. When you didn't bring up all the individual points of what happened, and he was like, oh, well, do you want me to tell you every single detail? And that's what she was not saying that, bro. And you know she wasn't saying that. What she was saying was, there's been a minimalization of what your action was.
Fist Casa more by saying, it's nothing, baby, it's nothing. You also said, it's nothing that you didn't do. Really? Because that was a whole lot that I didn't do. And for me to...
So let's say like you cheated. Oh, I didn't cheat. Oh, I just spent some time with someone. No, bro, you cheated. You had sex, okay? You kissed or whatever. I'm not saying that's what happened to Johnny, but we know Johnny was getting his chest licked off. We know that he was kissing. We know he was on... You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that were going on. Do you know what I mean? So, in that regard, let's just say that, bro, you might not have told the full truth in its whole entirety. And then 3, she was making a point that, you know, she was made to feel guilty for going on a date.
And for me to still feel like I did something wrong after going on a date with Benny is just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Johnny? It makes me feel like...
With, is it Beanie or Didi or whatever, it's Beanie I think it is as well, right? With Benny, sorry. And so, and let me be frank, obviously she felt that certain way because, like, how can you tell me to be a certain way about how I'm behaving with Benny, but you were moving mad yourself, right? That's how she's going to feel about the situation. So those are the 3 key points that she made in regards to the argument with herself and Johnny. Now, as I said, new information was coming out as it was going, and you have to understand that truth and trust are a premium. Imagine your insurance for your car, You crash your car, you no longer have no claims bonus, because if you once you claim it, your premiums are now going to go up. Imagine that being a relationship. You've crashed your car and now the premiums are going up, and they're going considerably up. Okay, double, quadruple, whatever you want to call it, in order to what? Make the company feel safe that you are a what? Safe driver. In order to make me feel safe about our relationship, my premiums have gone up. My trust boundaries have gone up. My truth boundaries, now I'm going to be scrutinizing everything you say, because you've caused a chain reaction. You've caused the premium to go up by crashing the vehicle. Okay? Called our relationship. Okay? And so the fear makes people lie. The pride makes people lie. And, you know, these two things kill relationships. And one thing as well I want you to notice about their interaction is that, as we were talking at first, you know, he's not facing her directly. He's put his side to her body, right? And he's facing front. And as the conversation develops, when it gets to a certain point where he wants to interrupt her, when he wants to stop her flow, he then turns his body, puts his drink down, okay, and then begins to engage and interrupt. Yeah? And actually, unfortunately, because he interrupted, he didn't allow her to get the full the full measure of her feelings. She didn't get to get the full measure of what she was thinking out to him, because he interrupted. And what I say to you in another video earlier about listening, do not interrupt unless you're clarifying.
Kidding me, Johnny. It makes me feel like you're trying to cover your own ass.
I'm not covering my own ass.
Can I just finish?
You can finish, but I'm just saying, like, I'm sorry that I'm getting ramped up too, but you have to understand.
Other than that, wait for the person to finish, then you begin to say your piece. Because otherwise what you do is you spoil the person's train of thought. And actually it can be a tactic of manipulation to throw someone off so they're discombobulated and don't know where they are, and then can't begin to discuss their point in the detail they want to discuss it in. You understand? And then you're like, oh, where was I again? Da-da-da. And now you're discombobulated. And then now he can attack you again. So it can look like a manipulation tactic. I don't think it was, but it can look like that. You know, even through the whole conversation, you can see that he's like shaking his head, and his face is like, you know, he's got some facial mannerisms that he's not really showing that. It's not a positive vibe. And when I say positive vibe, I don't mean that it's going to be a positive conversation, but in the essence of the fact that you're not showing that you really are listening at the moment. Your head is dangling down, like, you know what I'm saying, you're shaking your head, like, bro, all those are indications that I don't agree with what you're saying, I'm not listening to what you're saying. Like, show that respect by just keeping an eye contact, keeping your body language face towards her. Why shift towards her to argue and then shift back around when you finished? Yeah, you don't really want to listen to her. That's the point, yeah? You don't want to listen to her. So at that point, when I saw him turn back to face the other way and keep his shoulder towards her, I said, once he's done his piece, that's it. Do you know what I'm saying? Once he's done his piece, he was fine.
Understand that
I'm trying to handle this. You are the one in the bad
situation. I get that. I am at fault for this. I am the root of the problem. Do you want me to say it 10 times fast?
You know, the fact that he admitted his wrongs. Listen, don't get it twisted. Your honesty is appreciated. The fact that you came out and said it yourself is appreciated. What's not appreciated is the fact that we've got work to do. And that, I always say to you guys, cheating takes 6 to 24 months to recover from. And it's not a simple thing. So to recover from cheating in the villa, and I call it cheating because even though they weren't exclusive, they knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? He knew what it was. Do you feel me? And he took advantage of the grey area. So, bro, like, you still haven't saved the girl heartache because she put her heart and soul into it, right? And so admitting that you were wrong is good, but it's not the final end. Admitting that you're wrong doesn't absolve the fact that there are feelings and there are pain and there's broken hearts involved. It doesn't absolve that. Do you understand? It's just a starting point. And you know, and she obviously and then obviously she began to insinuate that, look, the whole situation I'm feeling annoyed about is the fact that you were kissing this girl over the covers, then you went under the covers. So that insinuates something more happened to me. And you say, no, nothing happened. But remember, if you've omitted any information already, you look like a liar. Do you understand? So now whatever you say won't be taken as a truth or gospel even, because previously you drip-fed information. You know what I'm saying? So for her in the situation, I get it. I get the frustration. I get the fact that, is there something else you're not telling me? Because I can't deal, what she's saying is, I can't deal with you not being open. You're saying you're being honest and being open, and then you're drip feeding me information. What? Because you think I'm going to be hurt. I'm already hurt. Do you understand? You should tell me fully in entirety so that I can make a choice. It's fair game, right? But when you tell me half truth or don't tell me the whole entire truth, she can't make a really informed decision because she's not getting all the truth.
I'm sorry that I'm getting ramped up too, but you have to understand that.
Don't tell me I have to understand anything right now.
You don't have to
I'm
understand
the one
anything.
like.
You don't have to understand. I'm not trying to put anything on you, Cely. I really understand.
It's funny because, like I said, when he interrupted her, he was actually trying to appeal to her. He didn't want to lose her. He was actually trying to appeal to her. So that whole turn around, put my drink down, and you saw him trying to put his hand on her thigh a little bit. All of that was, I won't say a game. I'll say all of it was to try and use his body to try and show her, listen, I'm really down for you. I'm genuine for you. You know I love you. Blah 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 blah. It's to try and get her back on board, isn't it? But it weren't working. So what happened when it stopped working? He turned her back around. When he realised it wasn't working and she wasn't having it, she said, obviously, what do you mean I have to understand? Like, when she gave him that little bit of attitude, what did he do? He turned back around and turned his side to her again. So really, that whole turnaround in the first place was just kind of manipulative in a sense. I wouldn't say you were doing it on purpose or consciously, but I think we do this subconsciously. These are things that we know how to do to try and get away with something. I think that's what he was doing at that moment.
Did you want me to go into detail about how I kissed her and how I cuddled her? Is that what you wanted me to do in that moment? I told you the truth.
It's just, that's not like the point, Johnny.
He gets up and walks away, and I said to him, that's a power move. She was still talking, and he walked away. Does that sound like somebody who really wants to take accountability for their actions? Or rather, they say, I've said sorry now, you should accept it? Because that's what it sounds like.
Whenever you feel like you want to talk to me, you can, and I'll be here.
He hasn't taken accountability of his actions in regard. He doesn't want to be blamed. He doesn't want to be accused. He doesn't want to feel like he's wrong, because for him, it happened. Get over it. Men are quick to, when they do mistakes, to try and say get over it. When it happens to them, come and see that they, come and see, be crying snot into their cereal, bro. Like, on a realist thing. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, so for me watching it, I just said to myself, okay, cool, bro. Why did you get up at that point? She was still talking. It's a power move. Right? And so later on, when they have a discussion, she calls him out and says, listen, when we're talking, you can't be doing these mannerisms. All right? Because it makes me feel like, and I love that, feel like, it makes me feel like you're not really listening to me. Here's what I didn't like. You don't get to mention age now. Sis, when you started dating him, you don't get to mention now because he's done what he's done. It's because you're young. No, darling, listen. If you do that, you're going to cause him to go and, I won't say cause him to do it, sorry. You're going to give him an excuse to try and do something mad again.
What the hell? I forget that you're 22 because you are so mature, but like, I need you to do better.
Yeah, and 100%, I hear you.
Oh, she thinks I'm young, I'm a young boy, blah, 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 I gotta show her. No. Either you're in it to win it or you're not. Yeah, don't say that he's 22 and you got, nah. You, in your head, you can say that he's still young, he's learning, alright, cool. Let me give him let me give him a bit of space. But say, oh, you're 22, like you're a big woman, sis. I know you're like, what, she's like 25, 26, or whatever she is. Listen. Truth of the matter is, yeah, this guy's going to do what he's going to do. 22, 25, 28, 30. Whatever age he is. But don't call him a young boy, because that's belittling. When you belittle a person like that, they have two choices. Surrender to the belittling or fight back. And how they fight back oftentimes isn't clean. You'll see him out here cheating in the streets. Sis, don't call him a young boy again. And so, obviously, she went to apologize to Benny as well. About the situation, and it's interesting that she said, obviously, like, I'm sorry for the whole thing around the villa. I don't want to be causing anything, be the cause of all the drama, etc. And it's interesting because she obviously look, like, she basically said, like, yo, you're really cool. I like you. I think you're sound. I know you're down for me, and this reminded me a bit of the Michael and the Amber Gill situation, where there's a genuine guy that likes you. That's probably gonna be better for you. Then the monster, I wouldn't say monster, sorry, the bad boy that's sitting in front of you, which is Johnny. Johnny's a bad boy, yeah? He's a bad boy B, you understand, yeah? He wants to mess around, he wants to play around, but he can be, he's got potential to be loyal, but he's shown us traits of the fact that, listen, brother wants to just play. He's out here to play, cuz, you understand? Now, when you've experienced what you've experienced with him, and you have another option on the table, do you not think it might be a time to take that choice? To take that offer up. but she doesn't, right? And I think it's because, again, you know, sometimes we get used to what we had. It doesn't mean it's better. Just we just get used to what we had, and we struggle to part with it. Struggle. So yeah, I think just deepen it. If you're in a relationship and you're going through something like this cheating situation, let me be very frank with you and open and honest. It takes time to heal. It's not an overnight situation. And if someone is drip feeding you information, I would be very, very careful of that person, because they're not telling you the whole entire truth and they're scared to, right? And oftentimes that scare isn't because of you. They're scared because they got caught. They don't want to have to admit that they were wrong. You understand? It's often to do with themselves and nothing to do with the police. And nothing to do with you policing the relationship. You know what I mean? Alright, guys, that's episode 25. You know, Johnny and Cely. Guys, appreciate you. Say look, say loaded, more love.